Good afternoon and good evening, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. I'm Ross for. I was actually liking that last beat. That was a pretty good beat. Anyway, today we're going to discuss don't buy a new car unless. And we will get to the unless part in the latter part of the video. So, again, I love this time of the year because for most Americans, we get a big chunk of money. We get a big chunk of money. And some of us are scrambling. Some of us are trying to pretty much brain work to see how we're going to kill the nanny. Basically, how we're going to burn this money off. How we're going to spend this money. How we're going to invest this money. How we're going to save this money. How we're going to deposit this money. What are we going to do with this money? Now, this might be for some people who are really trying to go out and buy a car. Now, the question that you may have is, should I buy a new car or should I buy a used car? Now, let's talk about the used car. Now, I always tell people to go out and buy a certified pre-owned, okay? Or as some people call it, a CPO, a certified pre-owned vehicle. And you want to get into the discussion of these very few things. You ask yourself this question. What are the things should I be looking for? Or what are the things I will be looking for when I go out and buy the CPO, the certified pre-owned vehicle? The first and foremost, once you find the vehicle, either be online or in person. Now, if you go find the car online, I will advise you, especially if it's used, do not buy the car online. Simply look at the car online. Look for the car online and see where it's at. And hopefully it's within driving distance. But the first thing after you pick out the car of your dreams, or the car that you want, or the car that you just actually can afford, when you go out to that dealership, when you go out to that car lot, you want to discuss one of the most important things that I hold dear to, that I absolutely love: a warranty. A certified pre-owned warranty. Now, again, in the latter part of this video, we will talk about new cars and we'll talk about warranties. Now, for the CPOs, the warranty is the most important thing that you can ever do, right? And you just don't want to know if it has a warranty. Now, I can tell you like this. If it has a 30-day warranty, don't get it. Don't get it. If they're not offering at least a year for a warranty, it is not advantageous for you. I say again, if you're buying a certified pre-owned vehicle and they're not offering at least a year warranty on that vehicle, then it's not advantageous. You will spend a lot of money. Now, this is for you. This is for those people out there who are going to take this tax return. You're going to take this tax return and you're going to go out and buy a vehicle. I'm trying to steer you in a way that's going to save you not hundreds, but thousands of dollars, okay? Because we need to understand that used cars, they already been depreciated for 30%. So you're not going to pay that 30% overhead. So the first thing you want to look out for is a warranty. Understand the inner workings of a warranty. What does the warranty cover? And any other sort of warranties that you may have on the chassis or the undercoating, okay? Or the electronics. Does this warranty cover the electronics? Does this warranty cover the powertrain? Does this warranty cover bumper to bumper, et cetera, right? So these are things that you want to look for. Then, of course, after you pick out the car you want, then you want to look for, are there any discounts that you can apply to the price? AAA, military, students, what else do they have? Any sort of organization, NRA. There has a lot of organizations that can give you discounts when you're going out looking for a used or a new car. Now, of course, with a used car, a lot of those discounts have already been applied, so they may not apply them again, especially this new car dealership or the used car dealership of a new car dealership. Sometimes they are joined and they just adjacent to the left or to the right of that car dealership. But to be very cognizant of what the things we can do to see if there are any special pricing. Now, special pricing could be an upsell or some sort of 4th of July sale. We're trying to get rid of all these certified pre-owned. You come down here today and we're going to knock off $5,000. Now, it behooves you, if you're looking for a new car, take your time in looking for a new car. Take your time in looking for a used car. If I say, if you're thinking about buying a car, I want you to wait at least 2 months. Can you do it? Is your old bucket, is your old hunker down bucket, can it last 2 more months? I believe it can. Get an oil change, get some air in the tires, and have somebody push start it. But I promise you it can probably last 2 more months. The reason why I'm saying that is because pricing changes. And here's the thing that car dealerships don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that every day that that car is sitting on the dealership, they're paying taxes on it. They're paying taxes on it. So if you're looking at a car and that car is not moving, no one is selling it, you can go in with that foreknowledge. You can go in with that knowledge and know that you have a good chance of buying that vehicle for cheaper than the sticker price. So we need to be very cognizant of that. Look up for the special pricing. Because again, if you look for it for 2 to 3 months out and you're looking at the tag, okay, this car is $25,000. Then they say, you come on down and we'll knock off $5,000 on this certified pre-owned BMW 5 Series, fully loaded, a heads-up display, cruise control, power windows, power door locks. You want the car? We got it for you. And you go down to that car dealership and you see $25,000 and that the original price was $30,000. But a month ago, before they had the sale, you was looking at it and it was like $25,000. So they're not saving anyone $5,000. And if you have a car dealership that's crooked like that, I wouldn't even waste my time. Okay, I wouldn't even waste my time unless somehow the car is a good car, one of a kind, and you can persuade them that, hey, listen, you did this already and I see what you're doing. So I'm gonna buy this car at $20,000. If not, I'm gonna report you to the Triple B, the Better Business Bureau, to let them know you're not conducting great business. You're not keeping on the up and up, okay? Here's another thing. The reason why I really don't want you guys to go out and hurry up and buy a used CPO or a new car and do your research. And especially, again, I gotta stress this enough. Please, ladies and gentlemen, do not purchase a car online unless it's new. Don't go and put your money just because they have 100,000 pictures. It's best if you go to that car dealership and they have that warranty. Again, that was the first thing we're talking about, was a warranty. And if you have a friend who is a mechanic, take that friend with you and have them to search it anyway, even with the certified pre-tag on it. Because you don't want to have any issues. You don't want to have to keep going back, oh, okay, this broke, and that broke, and this broke. And then, if you didn't read the warranty, these warranties are constructed beautifully. Because they will tell you everything it covers, but it won't tell you what it won't cover. Not the little pieces. Oh, we're not going to cover that. We're not going to cover that. They don't tell you that. They tell you the things, mostly what they cover. And I'll tell you this. If they don't say they cover it, then they don't cover it. So you need to test drive the car. I mean, really test drive the car. You ever been buying a car, used or new, and the salesman is trying to tell you where to go. They're like, make a left, make a right, go around the block, let's head back to the dealership. I'm like, hold up. I'm buying this car. I'm spending $25,000, $35,000, $45,000 on this car. You ain't gonna tell me where I'm going. I'm going down to the bumpy road. I'm going up to the hill. I'm gonna put my foot into it. I'm gonna let off on the gas. I wanna see everything that this car can do, because when you go out and you spend your hard-working dollars, or you take your tax return and you do a down payment on a car, this is a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. And buying a car is serious business. It's the next biggest item from buying a house. I've lived in a car before. I lived in a car for a week. I have. And believe me, it's a second home. Some of you, you commute long ways to work. So when you buy a car, it should be a very conscious decision. See, a lot of times we're not financially stable enough to think about, I should buy the car that I need. But we get caught up in social media and things and things that we see about, I should buy the car that I want. That's not always a smart decision. All right. Test drive the car. Test drive the car with your mechanic. And thirdly, ask for a report. What's the name of that report? Not a crash report. It's an inspection report. Now, one of you guys, if you will, name that in the chat below. But it's a vehicle history report to let you know if it's been in any floods, mudslides, California fires, crashes, etc. Right? These reports will give you the history of that vehicle, and you want to know that because sometimes vehicles are like the human bodies. Something happened to you 5-6 years ago, but now the effects are now coming out. So you have to make a conscious decision about that. Now, what's the next step? So we talked about the warranty, we talked about test driving, we talked about the vehicle history report, and now we're going to talk about negotiating your deal. So this is what I like to do. And unfortunately, I only bought one used car in my life. So again, if you know my videos, I can be very contradictory. But that's okay. When I bought my last vehicle, I bought it brand new. And you can do the same with a certified pre-owned, but on a smaller scale of a percent margin. So my car was listed for $45,000, right? Not fully loaded either. It's not even fully loaded. It just have some of the bells and whistles, doesn't have it all. And it was $45,000. How much did I pay for that vehicle? I paid for that vehicle $38,000 flat. Now, and again, when I mean flat, I mean taxes, title, out the door. And it happens to do with your negotiation skills. It also has to do with certain affiliations that you have. As I said before, if you're a AAA, NRA, Better Business Bureau, military, if you're a student, they have all these discounts. And at the time, I was military, take $1,000 off. I was a student still in school going out for my master's, take $1,000 off. I was part of AAA. I think it was only like $500 for AAA. But these are the points that I'm trying to make to you guys that even before, right? And here's the thing. You have to know how to show your hand, ladies and gentlemen. You have to know. Don't let them know all the discounts that you have prior to. Don't let them know that you have a trade-in. Even though you rode up in a car, don't let them know that it's going to be the trade-in. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm trying to help you to buy a certified pre-owned or even a new car. But I want you to focus on buying a certified pre-owned car prior to buying a new car, because you should buy a certified pre-owned, aka used car, and less. And I'll get to that. When I go up to them, I say, okay, your car is $45,000. I see that the MSRP price is $39,000. I also see that you have a $900 destination price on that. So I am paying you for you shipping the car to your dealership, and you're going to charge me with that destination price. Well, sir, that's the way it works. Well, explain the way it works. Because last time I checked, when I bought a bag of chips, they may be charging me for the delivery of those chips on a bulk matter, but they don't list it. They just say these chips are 50 cents. These chips are $1. So I'm not going to pay your destination price. Is that okay with you? Okay, sir, we have a lot of wiggle room here. Okay, you have a lot of wiggle room. Great. So what can we get this down to, right? So now we're down to $44,000. Now we're down to $44,000. Oh, well, sir, that's, this is a really luxury car. There's not too many things we can do with this. I say, okay, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you $40,000. That's it. $40,000. Oh, well, this is a $45,000 car. $40,000 out the door. Tags, titles, everything else. Okay. He goes back. And I told the car salesman this. I said, usually I don't deal with car salesmen. I go right to the sales manager. But I'm going to give you a chance. And you have 3 chances. See, when you're buying a car, don't feel like they're doing you a favor. They're not doing you a damn favor, ladies and gentlemen. They're taking your hard-working dollars and they're making buku money. I went to this one used car salesman. He had all these awards because he's making money. I said, sir, you have 3 times to do the back and forth. He's like, what do you mean, sir? I said, right now, we discussed the deal, and then you're going to go there, you're going to come back. That's 1. Then you're going to say something else. They're going to say something. That's 2. 3rd, I'm out the door. We don't do a deal. So he did that song and dance. 1, 2. I said, sir, if you don't settle for 40, I'm out. I'm just gonna go down the street. Sir, the finance officer said, how does 40,800 and whatever? Okay, I'll do that. Tags, titles out the door? Yes. Okay, cool. So when he sat down, he said, okay, let's construct this deal. I said, well, hold up. What special pricing do you have on this vehicle? What do you mean, sir? Like, I know you guys give off money for discounts. Well, yeah, if you're part of this, part of that. I say, well, I'm part of this, I'm part of this, and I'm part of this, and I'm part of this. I'm a student, I'm military, I'm triple A, I'm triple B, I'm all this. They took off another $4,000. But wait, before he did that, guess what happened? He says, well, sir, we already negotiated on a deal. I said, yeah, we negotiated on a deal right now prior to the discounts that your dealership is already offering. I know when you do these discounts, you need a copy of this, you need a copy of that. You need a copy of my registration for AAA. You need a copy, you need maybe a transcript or a letter from the school stating that I'm a student, etc. A copy of my DOD military card. You need a copy of all those things. Guess what? I got them. I got them. And you register these things. This has nothing to do with the negotiation that we talk about the original price of this vehicle. So I went from $40,000 to $38,000. See, you have to negotiate, right? You have to negotiate prior to showing your hand. It's like poker. Give them that poker face. Well, sir, do you have a trade-in today? I said, well, sir, I would like to discuss this deal before we talk about anything else. So now I'm down to $38,000, right? But I have a trade-in. And at the time I didn't, I had some positive equity on the car, maybe $1,000 or $2,000. Had some positive equity. I paid it off. And then when I turned that car in, guess what? Positive equity took down the loan even more, killing them softly. Killing them softly. And guess what? When you do your used car, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have the Kelley Blue Book trade-in value of it, or the Napa trade-in value, or both. Don't let them just offer you anything. Back it up by the miles, the condition. If you know your vehicle is in good condition, if you know your condition, your vehicle is in great condition, or if it's okay condition, then put that information, put that data in Kelley Blue Book and Napa, and make those printouts, right? Get those printouts so you can go and you have leverage, right? You have negotiating power to show them documentation like, no, sir, this vehicle has 45,000 miles on it. The body is clean. There's no issue. Here's this, here's that. Boom. You should be at least offering this amount of money. You got to be smart. Don't show your hand. Don't show your hand. We're almost done here. See, and at the end of all of that, once you finish with the salesman, you're going to go in with the finance manager, and his job is to upsell you for a larger warranty, for special coatings of the car. This is a good and this is a bad thing when it comes to buying either a new car or a used car. When it comes to a used car, ladies and gentlemen, you have to really understand the type of car you're buying, and is the warranty worth it? Me personally, I always buy warranties, but I hear people really like war against it. Oh, you're going to be paying more than what it's worth, yada, yada, yada. Listen, my car is 10 years, 100,000 mile, bumper to bumper, not powertrain. When they say 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain, it's only for engine and transmission, not bumper to bumper. Bumper to bumper covers everything. And guess what my deductible is? Zero. Zero. My deductible is zero. And that is that's what you have to understand. So that's the way I constructed my warranty. I don't want to come out of pocket. I don't. I have an expensive car, and for my extended warranty, I paid $2,000 for it. That's not a lot of money. If something goes wrong in that car, one electronic issue, I'm done. It's going to be at least $5,000. They're going to we're going to have to charge you $160 to do a diagnosis, and then they're going to find this problem, that problem, this problem, this problem, that problem, this problem, that problem. Hey, what's going on, Wayne? Nice to see you, man. So that's what we have to understand, ladies and gentlemen. At the end, when you go into that the finance sales manager, he is there to upsell you warranties that you may or may not need, and certain coatings and special offers that you may or may not need. Now, for me, I always get extended warranty. I'd rather pay it now. And here's the thing about extended warranties: you can either add it to the price of the car, which makes your loan larger, which makes your monthly payments larger, or you can bring the money and pay for it outright. So with me, because I've done all the negotiating in the beginning, I said, go ahead and tack it back on. So it got down to like $34,000. They tacked $2,000 back on, $36,000, but the car was $45,000. Okay, because the original price of the car was $45,000. I negotiated down to $40,800. Then with all the affiliations that I have, knocked it down another four, being a college student, being military, being part of the AAA, being this, being that, knocked down another $4,000. Then I had a trade in. So let's do a recap before we get into the new car. And the new car is going to be short. When you go out and buy a new car, I advise you, check the warranty, check all the details of the warranty, what it covers and what it doesn't cover. Check the inventory, make sure this is the car you want, make sure this is the color you want. Buy a car that you need until you're in financial stability or you're in a financial area where you can actually buy the car that you want. Look up special pricing for the vehicle. Are there any discounts for the vehicle? Are there any sales that are coming up in 4th of July or Valentine's Day or Christmas or Thanksgiving or Halloween? Around these holidays, they always have certain sales. And it's good to be looking now just in case that dealership is a crooked dealership and they try to upcharge the vehicle where at all the time they're going to charge you $30, but a month prior that they was already charging $25. And they said, come on down, we're going to knock off $5,000. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was already $25,000. They upselled it to $30,000. Then they're going to sell you to $25,000. You have to be very cognizant, you have to be very aware of dealerships that do these manipulations of prices, okay? Manipulations of prices. Then the most important thing after you do the inventory, your warranty, all that, test drive the sucker and do a visual inspection of the car. Test drive it. Have a mechanic friend to come with you and check all the ins and outs. Yes, it's on the warranty, but you don't want to go back and forth through the dealership and the car lot, fix this, fix that. No, you want to be out the door, car in spick and span condition. Everything's working, no issues. Take a friend with you, test drive it. Also, look at the vehicle history report or the Carfax. That's what it was. Carfax. Look for the Carfax report or the vehicle history report from a legitimate source so you know if it's been in a fire, a mudslide, a flood, it's been crashed, etc. Right? You want to know all these things because you're thinking about longevity of the car. I tell people don't go out and buy a car just to later on trade in the car. I had a friend. He made decent money. And he always just leased vehicles. Every 2 years, he'll lease a vehicle. Oh, I love a new car, lease a vehicle. He was just wasting money. You're renting a car, basically. I'm off of it. Then again, negotiate your deal. Now, if you're just chiming in, rewind the video, and I went over some negotiation tactics for you. So you can knock down the overhead of that used car or new car. Then, of course, at the end, when you're in the office with the sales manager, with the financial manager, be ready for the upsell. Okay, be ready for the upsell. I'm going to read some of your notes and I'm going to talk about new cars. Where are we at here, ladies and gentlemen? Excuse me, I apologize. I lost my page. Now, when we talk about new cars, we have to be... all the same things that I'm telling you for the used car, you can use that for the used car as well. The same things I told you for the used car, you can use that for the new car as well. But I'm going to stress you going out and buy a used, certified, pre-owned vehicle, okay? A certified pre-owned. The reason why I say certified pre-owned is because that means they went through some sort of inspection, that they took it through, and that it passed it and is in good working conditions, and it has a warranty. 9 times out of 10, a certified pre-owned has a warranty, and if it says check mark, warrant or sold as is, don't buy those vehicles. Do not buy those vehicles. Sold as is. I don't care how good the deal, how good the price is. You go and you spend your hard working, bloody, crying tears money, because some of you cried about making that money and some of you bled to make that money. You go out and buy a certified pre-owned so you know that you have a warranty for at least a year. Okay, make sure it's at least a year and check the warranty for all the inner outings. Wayne Peters says, checking in, Ross. Okay. Wayne Peters also said, yep, get that VIN number. Indeed, for the vehicle history report. For new cars, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this. If you are in debt, do not buy a new car. If you don't have $10,000 or 3 to 6 months of your savings for your emergency fund saved up, do not buy a new car. If you're not investing in your organization's 401k or a Roth IRA, do not buy a new car. If you don't have any assets, if you haven't bought a house yet, do not buy a new car. If you're not investing in index and ETFs and individual stocks and commodities, do not buy a new car. If you have a horrible credit score, if you have anything under 700, do not buy a new car. Your interest rate on that vehicle would be astronomically high. Okay, it would be extremely high. I remember when I had bad credit, ladies and gentlemen, and the car salesman told me, we check your credit, sir. The loan we can offer you is at 10%. Oh, okay, 10%, that's not bad. I knew nothing about money. I knew nothing about percentage. I knew nothing about how much that played into the monthly amount. And most importantly, some of you are focused on the monthly amount. You know what you need to really to focus on when you're buying a new car or a used car? How long are you going to be paying that particular price? That's the question you need to be asking yourself. How long are you going to be paying that particular price, right? Because let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, $500 is a lot of money when you're paying that every month for the next 72 months, for the next 84 months. $500 is a lot of money. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Every month, by the time you spend that money, guess what you didn't factor in, ladies and gentlemen? Insurance. Did you factor in insurance? Did you factor in your oil change? Did you factor in gas? You didn't factor in none of those things. And then when you get your insurance, what's your deductible? It's two types of deductible, right? Comprehensive and I forgot the other one, collision or something like that. Comprehensive and the other one. Oh, make them $1,000. When something happens to that car, right? Someone runs into you and run off and they don't know. Do you have enough money to pay for it? Do you have that $1,000? You have uninsured motorist insurance? No. So now you're gonna be paying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $1,000. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure that you are in the financial position to go out and buy a new car. And then the most important thing, I talked about savings, I talked about investing, but your credit score. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you this tad bit of information. If your credit score is lower than a 700, you're gonna get a high interest rate. If you go in there and they run your credit and they tell you anything over 4%, is a horrible interest rate to buy a car. I bought my car at 3%. A buddy of mine bought his at 1.5%. I'm upset. I feel like I got robbed. Because you may not understand math, but I know you understand money, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? When you buy a car and someone spent 2% less than you did, guess how much that usually equals out? Now, it equals out depending on the amount of the car. I got that. The percentage is how much the car is on paper, like the loan and all those things. But usually we're talking about $100, $200, $300 a month. $300 a month. I'm paying $650, he paying $350 because his interest rate is lower. And guess what? His interest rate is his loan may be shorter over time. Because what if he started paying $650 like I did? Then guess what? his loan will be paid off faster, even though we have the same amount of months, the same amount of years of us paying on our loan. Because if we both paying $650, he's paying almost double, with the exception of $50. So he's been knocking the principal off his loan. So if our loans are 36 months, that's 3 years, he'll pay off his car in 1.5 years. So during this tax season, if you're thinking about going out and buying a new car, don't buy a new car unless you already have a budget. Don't buy a new car unless you are out of debt. Don't buy a new car if you're struggling on your finances, living paycheck to paycheck. Don't buy a new car if you don't have an emergency fund of $10,000 or 3 to 6 months of all your expenses. Don't buy a new car if you haven't started your organization 401k at the matching price, or a Roth IRA maxing out at $5,500 a year. Don't buy a new car if your credit score is below a 700, or they're offering you anything over 4%. Don't buy a new car. Go out and buy you a certified pre-owned car, something that you need, not something that you want. Because if you buy something that you want, as Wayne Peters would say, that's a red flag. This is Financial Literacy 101. I'm your host, Ross World. I'm out.